Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Detollenaere, an aesthetic doctor and owner of the Dr. Contour Clinic in Antwerp, Belgium. Today, I want to talk to you about an important topic in the world of aesthetic procedures. Many people are afraid of muscle relaxants, commonly known as Botox and fillers, because the images we often see in the media look clearly unnatural. For example, overly plump lips that seem out of proportion with the face. The problem here is likely that these procedures were not performed with an emphasis on harmony, proportion, and facial balance. However, today, I want to share with you how we can prevent this by using the golden ratio. You've probably heard of the golden ratio. The golden ratio is a mathematical concept where two numbers are in a special proportion, approximately equal to 1.618. And when one number is about 1.618 times larger than the other, this relationship is called the golden ratio. But why is the golden ratio important? Well, because this ratio plays a crucial role in creating beautiful faces. Faces that align with the golden ratio are often considered natural and harmonious. Interestingly, studies have shown that even babies look longer at faces that adhere to the principles of the golden ratio. This suggests that there is an innate attraction to faces that are in harmony according to the golden ratio. And this is a universal aesthetic principle that is not limited to cultural norms or eras. We can also see that many celebrities have faces that adhere to the golden ratio. Take Bella Hadid, for example. In a previous video, I also discussed the TikTok beauty algorithm, where TikTok uses an AI algorithm which makes use of the golden ratio to analyze a video creator's face to determine whether the video will be shown to more or fewer people, as people tend to stay longer on the app when they see beautiful faces. The golden ratio is not limited to faces. It can be found all around us. In nature, we see it in spirals, like in seashells, and in the arrangements of leaves on a stem. Architects use the golden ratio to create appealing proportions in buildings, such as the proportions of doors and windows. A famous example is the structure of the Parthenon in Athens, where the proportion of columns and spaces follow the principles of the golden ratio. Renowned artists like Leonardo da Vinci applied this principle in their works, such as his painting The Vitruvian Man, in which he depicted ideal human proportions according to the golden ratio. This illustrates how the golden ratio serves as a universal compass for what we consider beautiful, regardless of the subject. Now, returning to the beauty of faces, as that is primarily what I deal with in my profession. As an aesthetic physician, I use a special measuring tool, a caliper, to measure the golden ratio. By using this, I can objectively evaluate where treatments like fillers and Botox can be most effectively applied to achieve natural and balanced results. For example, if a patient comes in for lip fillers, but when I look at them, I see that their lips are already too large for the rest of their face. Lip fillers may not be a good idea. Using the objective measure of the golden ratio, I can also explain why it would be a poor choice to inject more fillers into the lips. Or, by using the golden ratio, I can determine that a person could benefit from filler injections on both sides of the face, because their face is slightly too narrow according to the golden ratio. Now, let me briefly demonstrate how this works with some examples of measurements that can be used on my own face.
The first measurement you want to use is the distance between the inner corners of the eyes, also known as the intercanthal distance. This distance remains the same throughout your life. It does not change with aging and is a good place to start. This is then equal to 1. And at the bottom of this caliper, we have 1.618. We will use this for the rest of our measurements. Next, we use the caliper to measure from the inner corner of the eye to the highest point of the eyebrow. This point may vary slightly between men and women. For men, it is usually lower than for women. This is likely a more accurate measurement for men, while for women, it can be slightly higher. But don't worry too much about that detail. Normally, this distance should also be equal to the width of the eye. Then we turn the measuring instrument around and use the 1.618 measurements. This distance should match the width of the eyebrows. The next measurement is the highest point of the cheekbones. This differs between men and women. For women, we use the 1.618 ratio from the inner corner of the eye to the highest point of the cheekbone. This is where the cheekbone should protrude the most. For women, we want that point to be slightly further out. Here is the exact location. There is another interesting measurement, the Swift line. Here we draw a line from the upper part of the ear straight to the nose. Then we draw a line from the outer corner of the eye down, and where they intersect is here. Perfect. The next measurement is the length of the nose, which we measure using the 1.618 ratio from the beginning down. Then we use the caliper to measure the width of the nose, and then we turn it around again and measure the width of the mouth. For men, we measure the width of the chin straight down, and the chin should be approximately as wide as the distance between the inner eye corners or the mouth. For women, the width of the chin can vary, but usually women want a 1 ratio, where the chin is slightly more pointed.
These are some of the many measurements we can perform to assess facial proportions and understand where medical aesthetic treatments like fillers can be most effective in achieving natural and balanced results. It allows us to make objective measurements based on the golden ratio, so we can determine the ideal proportions. You can always book a consultation or treatment at my clinic, Dr. Contour Clinic, through the link in the description below. Additionally, I invite you to explore my website, drcontour.com. You'll find not only a direct link to my clinic, but also access to my blog. This blog serves as an aesthetic guide, offering you insightful information on cosmetic procedures and medical beauty tips, including, for example, advice on anti-aging. It's designed to help you make informed decisions about your aesthetic health and beauty. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, bye!